What happens after the GA? In a hopeful situation, you proved yourself. Maybe you stay on staff, maybe an assistant coach leaves, but we look at here, King Leonidas. In the background, what do we see? We see a bunch of people who fought and died because they believed in their leader. That's what you do when you're an assistant coach. They gave you an opportunity. They picked you up off the streets. They took you away. They could be from coast to coast. And you stay with them, and then you believe in their program. You're going to be put in situations, and I hope you're not, but it has happened. It's happened to me, where sport coaches will go ahead and try and get the inside scoop. Why are we doing things like this? Why are we doing things like this? How come we're not doing it like that? I'll never forget, I was a GA in Charleston, South Carolina. If you've ever been down there, it's a beautiful area. A lot of nightclubs, a lot of beaches. Football staff goes out. We're out at a bar. I think it was after a recruiting visit. And then the offensive line coach just comes at me, and he's like, why don't we power clean? Why aren't we doing that? Shouldn't we be doing that? If you were the head coach right now, would you be power cleaning? 21 years old, what am I going to say? Coach, I hear you. I like cleans. I do them personally. But I also know there's a whole lot of other ways we can go ahead and get fast and explosive. And that's how we do things here. How we look at it as a department is this. A, B, C, and D. You don't want to splinter. If any one of these guys splintered, what's going to happen? They're done. So when you're an assistant coach, you may work with a coach that will say, you can do what you want, but you have to follow our principles. You can go ahead and have complete autonomy of your program. But if we believe in a tier system and we go a total lower upper split, and that's the program integrity I want you to keep because that's representing our department, then you do a total lower upper split. But you can go ahead and pick your exercises. That's fine. Because you're backing up. You're part of one unit. You're part of one family. And that's very important because once you start losing, what's going to happen? Coaches are going to go ahead. They're going to start finding little things. Well, we're doing this thing wrong. We're doing this thing a little bit differently. Why is that? So the assistant coach period, you got to remember who you are as a coach, but who the coaches are around you and what they've done to get you there. A great example is this. I've got a couple things up here. You're only as good as your network. We know that, right? How many of us really, really get jobs when we send out applications through Indeed.com, Monster.com? I don't know if Monster.com still exists. But how many of us have gotten a job based off somebody we knew or said something for us? Got us that in. How many of us? Let's be honest. Almost every single one of you. Our network is completely dictated by our coach's network. So who you work with or work for, they've got a bigger network than you. So I use the example up here with the AFCA. I went to the AFCA with Joe Ken my first year at Louisville. I had never shaken so many hands in my life. I was cramping by the end of the night. All I wanted to do was go to sleep. And here we are, holding court, meeting with coaches, this staff, that staff, catching up with people, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. And I'm thinking, why? I'm just a restrictive earnings coach. That's all I am. No big deal. And then it turns out to find out one of those coaches I met ends up hiring me later. But you take the time to go ahead and go outside your comfort zone and stay up a little bit later and do the things and get to know who the people hired you, who they know. And then you expand on top of that. And then that's how you develop relationships and continue to move forward. Another story is we went out coaching at Louisville. We were playing Rutgers. Didn't really turn out too well the both years we were there. But Zach Evanesh had a place. And we're talking. Coach goes, hey, yeah, we're going to be in town. Look up this Zach Evanesh guy. Great guy, super passionate at what he does. Perfect. He's about 20 minutes, half hour from the hotel. So when you're traveling with Division I football, they'll give you a per diem. Hey, we're going to pay for your meals, even though you're probably going to eat with the team anyway, so here's $50. I'm like, this is great. So I just saved my per diem. I ate all my team meals because I was saving money. We go out, we get a taxi. There's 4 of us. Get to Zach's place. Coach goes, Adam's got it. His mom drove down. He can use his per diem. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, how much money you make as a Division I head strength conditioning coach? I'm the restricted guy, and you're making me pay for it? So how well do you think that sat with me for a long time? Not very well. But here's what I learned looking back on it. That $30 cab ride, do you know how much information I got from that training session with Zach? I made a connection. I met somebody in the field who has an influence. And what did it cost me? $30. That was it. So I just shifted my mindset. I reframed the situation I was in. It took me a while because I wasn't very mature at the time, and I was mad because I needed to save that. I wanted to save it. But I was like, I get it. It's not a big deal at all. So the receipt, go ahead and pick up the tab. It pays its dividends. I was listening to a podcast by Martin Rooney a couple weeks ago, and people said, being in this fitness celebrity thing, this fitness professional, everybody wants to come in and take these selfies, right? We live in a selfie era. How many selfies can we take? Can we tag? Can we hashtag? Can we retweet? Can we like? Can we double tap that Instagram? Can I get a picture? Can I get a picture? And Martin says, stop worrying about the picture. Go ahead and ask them how they did it. Take them out. Spend time with them. Listen, do you have time? Do you have half hour? Can I buy you a cup of coffee? That $5 cup of coffee like I just paid for downstairs to meet with a coach about a certain technique with conditioning is worth its money. Why are we afraid to go out and do that? You're going to be strapped. It will take care of itself. But if you pick up the bill now and you pick up the tab, and I picked up the tab of 3 digits with NFL coaches, with Division I coaches, just because I looked at that as that was like my entrance fee. I could sit there and just keep my mouth shut and listen. It's just like professional development, is it not? You get to sit there and you get to eat, and then maybe they'll buy you ice cream at the end. You'll be all set, okay? So don't be afraid to do that.